I met Will Smith. Kinda. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another movie review, discussion slash critique. Disclaimer, as always, I'm not a professional. Here's my receipt of the red carpet world premiere on Hollywood Boulevard. Might have been the biggest carpet I've ever been on, with one of the biggest celebrities in the world, my biggest childhood crush, everything about Will Smith and now the whole Smith family. I'm obsessed. Let's take a look at the carpet and then I'm going to tell you guys some fun facts. I feel like the video and the pictures don't even do justice to represent the presence and energy it was to be on the carpet. There was a swarm around Will the entire time. I was invited by Paramount. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, the whole team, for getting me there. And outside of like, okay, let me get my picture, my only mission was to finally meet Will. Third through maybe about 5th or 6th grade, I literally wrote my name in every notebook, homework assignment, even got in trouble for it because I would write my name as Brandi Smith. I knew I was going to marry him. I knew that we were meant to be. I was obsessed with The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I watched it constantly. So this was a moment for me. Nothing's getting in my way. I'm going to meet him tonight. It kind of happened, it kind of didn't. It depends on what you classify as meet. My plan of attack was, he's making his way down the line, and in between all of this, oh, you know, here's Martin Lawrence, here's Tommy Davidson, here's Jada Pinkett, here's Jaden Smith. So I am this close to Will Smith. He's getting interviewed by Extra TV right in front of me. And I was like, okay, what am I gonna do? I asked his publicist and he was like, you know what? I can get a hold of him as much as you can. And I actually believed him because every time Will took a step, it was everybody after him. So I was like, you know what? I gotta get in where I fit in. So I assumed the position, and once I saw an opening, I darted. That's where I messed up, because then I actually stepped in his way and he stepped on my toe. And as excited as I was because he now touched my toe, I forgot to say, hey, my name's Brandi. Can I meet you? Can we take a photo? I love you. There was so many things I could have said, but instead he was just like, I'm so sorry. He touched my shoulder like this. No, this one. It was this one, because it was this toe. So he touched this one, and I think he stepped on it with his right foot, and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I wanted to be like, no, thank you. But I didn't say anything. I was kind of disappointed, but you know, I was just like, I'm here. And he just signed on for another movie with Paramount, which maybe I'm not supposed to say. I don't know, but maybe I'll be in that movie, and maybe we'll be co-stars. So just like Beyonce, I don't think I wasn't ready to meet him yet. All right. I know why you're here. What's going on with the movie? It was very distracting. I'm not gonna lie. Watching the movie, just knowing he's like 5 rows behind me, I was like, I saw it. I wanted him to know I was clapping. I was laughing. I was like, oh my gosh. Because I needed him to know that I was watching and paying attention. Luckily, I got to see it again the very next night with Real D. And so now I'm ready for my full analysis. First things first, you have to see it in Real D 3D IMAX. This isn't a plug. They didn't ask me to say it. For the level of technology, why would you go downgrade the experience? You're not gonna get dizzy, you're not gonna get sick. I think a lot of people are still scared of 3D because they think it's jump at you type of stuff you see at amusement parks. What 3D is now, it's more about depth and lighting. There's a couple scenes underwater. Yo, It is so clear, so vivid. I really thought that I was underwater. There's scenes with like somebody just standing outside and there might be a bug or something flying by, and it looks like it's right in front of my face. Highly recommend. Visually stunning. Never seen anything like it. After hearing the chatter from both the premiere and the screening, there was a lot of mixed reviews, and I was kind of, I was mad because like, I love Will, I love his movies, and I'm trying not to be biased, but I thoroughly enjoyed the movie and I thought it was really good. For the people that didn't really enjoy it or just thought it was okay, I think it depends on what you come in expecting. So if you expect one thing and you don't get it, you're going to be disappointed. I've heard on the radio, all the billboards, it's just like game changer. That's like the one-liner they describe. I completely agree. I don't know how they got everything to look so vivid. The most standout part of it is the technology. Two scenes that stood out for me, technology 3D wise, were, like I said, the shots underwater. The water looked so real, so in my face. And the second scene is towards the end. I'll just call it the machine gun scene. Will is getting shot at in this convenience store. The way things are flying at you, like bottled drinks and chips and popcorn in slow motion, it was just intense. One of the problems is the very last scene. It's because Will's younger character is in full daylight and you can really see the imperfections and the CGI-ness of the character. What makes it a harsher critique is because we already know what Will Smith looks like and we know what he looks like younger. So we're expecting this perfect mimicked image, whereas like maybe if it was a random character face we've never seen, we wouldn't be able to judge it so hard. That's the only downfall. We could have edited that out, maybe. Also, they shot 120 frames. There were some parts where it felt like I'm tracking you with my iPhone camera. Sometimes it almost stood out a little bit too much for me. I could tell when they like sped up a few clips. There were some scenes that weren't as fluid and some of it just looked like virtual reality a little bit. I don't know if that's what he was going for. I don't know if it's something that's unavoidable with such high-paced action scenes, but it did catch me out a little bit. And remember, I've seen this twice now, so I'm being extra nitpicky. For the film being this ambitious and making a clone of one of the world's biggest stars, movie stars, I think that they did very well. But other than that, it is still remarkable. There were a lot of scenes of the character left in the dark or like low light, and I think that was on purpose because you can't tell as much. I honestly feel like the trailer didn't do it justice. I have mixed feelings about trailers right now. Sometimes I want to watch them, sometimes I don't, because they can give away too much, too little, and they can be too confusing. I have an issue with the song. I like Forever Young, the original, and like the Jay-Z version, but I do not like that version of the song in the trailer. I don't know, that's just me. I feel like they also tell a little bit too much about the plot. When it comes to the storyline, we all know Will is some sort of spy or assassin type of guy. Think Mission Impossible. I'm here for all of that. I love espionage, trickery, getting the bad guy, but then maybe he's not the bad guy and you're the bad guy and I'm the bad guy. We get to the action and the suspense pretty quickly. This is Will, this is what he's doing, and go. The story is an interesting play on saving yourself, getting lost in your job or just life in general, people kind of running from themselves, looking in the mirror, seeing your past, your future. There's a lesson in living your best life. I really enjoyed the supporting cast. The female lead, she was really good. It was refreshing to not have this like mushy love story of these two partners that are saving each other's lives. It was just down to business. I enjoyed like not having to have this typical Hollywood love story. There was some light flirtation, but as far as like your Mission Impossibles, your James Bonds, where there's always like a love interest, nah. We got stuff to do. I heard a lot of people saying they saw too much of the clone. It's like yes and no. They're after each other the entire movie, so we kind of gotta see them. The chemistry that Will had with himself was also pretty amazing. I'm sure that's very hard to talk to somebody who who is not actually you, but you're having this heart-to-heart with somebody who's supposed to be your younger you, and that was impressive. The conversations they had were really important, really heartfelt, and really intense, and we needed those, as well as there was a great contrast of them whooping each other's butt. The stunts and action sequences, choreography, whatever you want to call it, were incredible. Here's one thing I can't stand in action fighting scenes. Here's me. Here's 10 guys that are trying to attack me. I'm fighting one guy. We're in fisticuffs. And all other 9 of them are kind of waiting to jump in. It's not realistic. If you're really trying to take this guy down, you're gonna go after him at the same time. I understand it's movies, it's Hollywood. We gotta do that, otherwise every hero would die in the first 3 minutes. Sometimes it's just too obvious. With this movie, because it's Will and his clone, they're really just going at it, and I believed it fully. And some of the tricks were like, ooh, that was hard. Like hard to do and hard like tight. And it was pretty much flawless. I saw it twice, IMAX, huge screen, and I did not see or notice one stunt double. Let's talk about how Will is reverse aging, or just not aging at all. I think he's hit his Pharrell point. There's one twist that a lot of people gasped at in the theater both times, but I saw it coming. Makes me think that maybe if this movie wanted a sequel, it could. I don't think so. I thought Clive Owen was a really good villain. My favorite role of his is still Inside Man, but there's something about the way he talks and his cadence that is very like sinister, mysterious, and I just love it. I think what a lot of people weren't expecting and were pleasantly surprised by was the heart of the film. It's a tug of war of like, oh, I want to like him, but I don't like him. Outside of the action, it just had a really good realistic story if this situation ever occurred with somebody. I appreciated, even though this is not a comedy at all, we still had those sarcastic, funny one-liners from Will. I don't know what this means for the future of the movie industry. I don't know if they're going to keep trying to make fake CGI people. I feel like it's a lot of work. Like, I learned a little bit about the process, and they had to take so many different young men and get their skin tones and the way their facials move and just mimicking all the muscles and the bones in our bodies, the eyes. Why don't we just get somebody else? I understand for this movie, of course, we needed Will's clone because he can't play his younger self. But I feel like I don't want a bunch of movies like Alita Battle Angel. Like, that was cool, but it would have been cool too if they were real actors. That kind of sums it up for me. So let's recap. Yes, go see it. Highly recommend. Yes, go see it in real 3D IMAX. Not even highly recommend. That's a requirement. I would give it a 9 out of 10. I was thoroughly entertained the entire time, and when you can trick me once or make me think a certain thing, you got me, because I analyze everything. I think it's a well-rounded action, thriller-ish kind of drama, suitable for a lot of different audiences. That's my review. See you on the next carpet at the next movie.